Hi all, welcome to i-tutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with the unit 12 of Mmpc 009 and subsection 4. In last video, we discussed till subsection 3. It is purchasing decision. So, what is purchasing decision? So, with the purchase requisition and specification as input from the departments and sections of the organization, restrained from the external environment and the factor about the demand pattern, and the purchasing department has to make several decisions, so some purely operational while some related to policy formulation, having far reaching impact on the long term success of the organization. So in this section we will shall discuss the operation decision, and policy related decision will be covered in subsequent sections. Okay, so from purchase requisition, the purchasing department generate purchase order, which is legal document. Okay, so a purchase order should contain at least the following. What all? One is purchase order number is there, date of issue, name and address of supplier receiving, and quantity and description of item, required delivery date, shipping instruction, price and payment terms, and other condition governing the order. This is the format sample of purchase order sheet. Okay, so there is purchase officer sign or something, seal is here, so like that. And supplier section, uh, information on external sources of supply can be obtained from numerous references. Industrial advertisement of the supplier appearing in newspapers and periodicals, and supplier catalog, and supplier salesmen and trade journals, trade directorates, and prepared by government agencies, and trade and list of suppliers approved by the government agencies, inquiries through advertisement or individual communication, and record of the organization past purchase. And after compiling the information about suppliers for the needed item, relative proficiencies of each potential supplier must be assessed on the basis of comparative quotation of price, quality, quantity, delivery, and other services. And other relevant variable are the supplier's management capability, technical ability, production capacity, quality of service, and financial stability. Next is timing of purchase. So in timing of purchase, uh, approaches may be adopted while trying to time purchase in the response to the market condition. One is speculative buying and forward buying. What is speculative buying? It involves purchasing in excess of foreseeable and requirement in order to make profit from rising price. And forward buying is it involves purchasing in economical quantities exceeding current requirements but not beyond actual foreseeable requirements. This approach is often used when prices are stable over time. Hand to mouth buying. This practice is resorted to satisfy only immediate current requirements and may be uneconomical. This may be suitable in case of high value item. It is not recommended for normal operation. And there are inherent risks in all these approaches in the environment of fluctuating market and price instability. Two techniques may be used to reduce the financial risk, that is time budgeting purchase and hedging. So what is hedging? The organization purchase the required quantity on the spot or open market, and at the same time sells the same quantity in the future market, contracting to deliver at a future date in order to mitigate the risk associated with the fluctuating prices. And price determination. Price per unit of an item comprise the unit purchase price, transportation cost, handling cost, inspection, insurance, and administrative variable cost. The right price simply means the lowest possible total price for the organization. And the typical approach of for price determination are published price list, competitive bidding, and negotiation. Price list published by the suppliers give initial indication of the price, and in competitive bidding, the request for bids are sent to several suppliers, and usually not always the lowest bidder get the order. Okay, and negotiation is the approach resorted to when time is too short, the number of bidder is too small, value of purchase is high, and willingness to compete is lacking, or the specification are too vague. And while determining the price, shipping terms should also be clarified. and the shipping term established who will pay the freight charge and when does the buyer take the legal title to the goods and who will prosecute loss and damage claims against carriers. And there are numerous terms of shipment, but the most common one is FOB, free on board buyer's plant. The buyer take the title to the goods when the goods are delivered at his plant, and suppliers pay all transportation charges and process all claim against the carrier for damaged or loss of goods. FOB is a seller's plant, and the buyer takes the title when goods are loaded onto the carrier, and he pays all transportation charges as well as negotiates all freight damage claim with the carrier. And FOB is seller's plant, that is freight allowed. Legal responsibilities same as in FOB seller's plant, but the suppliers pay the freight charges. CAF, cost of insurance and freight contract. The price includes cost of material, insurance and freight. FAS, free analog side ship, that is used in shipping by sea where suppliers is responsible for getting goods to the ship and the buyer take title as well as all responsibilities thereafter. And further, purchase contracts can be of fixed price, quite common, and cost plus contract, that is no definite limit to cost, or blanket order, that is 6 months or 1 year. And discount, an important aspect of price determination, involve discount that can be secured. The following type of discounts are trade discount, quantity discount, seasonal discount and cash discount. And next is quality and quantity. The process of determining right quality in purchasing implies striking a balance between technical specification and economical considerations, and the right quality has no absolute meaning but is specified in relation to a to a purpose. And as mentioned above, most of the technical specification are decided by the requisitions department. The purchasing department should be instrumental in taking the quality decision by making available various market grades, trade names and commercial standard, etc., and corresponding prices and sources of supply to the requisition department to enable them to specify quality of item. Once the quality standards are specified, the purchasing department make arrangement in collaboration with the requisition department for the inspection of the item after delivery. And sometimes the inspection is performed by an organization representative in the vendor's plant. An on-site inspection can save time and money while minimizing operational delays from the inferior quality for normal items supplied in lots, and inspections for acceptance is carried out by sampling. Okay. Next is procedure should be established for handling inferior quality. And should the shipment be returned to the supplier and contract cancelled? Should the buyer rework the item to an acceptable quality and bill the supply? Should only reject item be returned for placement and acceptable items retained? Such issues must be resolved in advance to maintain long-term relationship. Okay. So after determining the quality, the next important step is to determine how much quantity to buy and when. Okay, so that is the quality and quantity relationship. For item continuously used, the purchasing department can collect the projected demand from various departments and then can incorporate these details into the blanket purchase order. Okay, so here is one equation. Reorder point means it's equal to safety stock, that is means safety also important, right, plus average demand during the lead minus time. Okay, and A means here fixed cost of ordering, this is A. D is average annual demand, H is holding cost. Okay, and in case of production component, the determination of right quantity can be linked with the concept of material requirement planning, that is MRP. Okay, next is purchasing organization. The purchasing department is usually under the general manager at par with the other functional departments such as engineering, finance, account, manufacturing, and marketing, etc. So, sometimes it is kept along with the other related departments like a store, inventory, material control under material manager, who in turn is under general manager. And choice of organizational structure depends on the volume of work and value of the purchase. And a good structure encourages the assignment of specific responsibilities, specific authorities, and smooth chain of command of delegation. It should lead to the development of policies that permit routine decision to be made by subordinates. And with the in purchase department, the structure may be worked out using following approaches. One is organization by function, organization by product, and organization by location, organization by stage of manufacturing. So these are the approaches. Okay. And the next is procedure, forms, records, and reports. What is procedure? The by procedure we mean the entire set of steps in which a purchase transaction is carried through from its inception to its conclusion. So these steps together form the purchase policy of an organization. Since there are wide variations among industries, companies, organization, products, and personnel, it would not be feasible to establish a single set of procedures which would apply to all cases. And the following basic steps, however, must be taken in one way or another: receipt and analysis of requisition to assess the need and description of requirement, selection of possible sources of supply and determining the time, price, quality, and quantity, placing the order, following up and expedition of the order, and checking the invoice and receiving the order, processing discrepancies and rejections after inspection, communicating with the account section for payment, closing complete records, and maintenance of record and files. Oh, it is a schematic diagram of purchase product. Okay, so please refer to your Ignore study material Mpc 009. Okay, and chapter 12, unit 12. Okay, so purchase form. Forms are very important tool for purchasing department to standardize the communication with the internal department of the organization and external agencies such as supplier and local government bodies, etc. The number of forms required depend on the size of the organization, the purchasing system employed in the organization, and the accounting and the internal control method in effect. Normally there should be not be too many forms as they create confusion and red tapeism. Certain link of communication can be sent in copies of some forms and instead of individual forms. The forms should incorporate the principles of good design to facilitate data entry and data retrieval, to minimize the possibilities of errors, and finally to be just economically sufficient in size and number of entries required. And purchase form of the following function are usually employed, that is some of which have already been exhibited: purchase requisition, request for quotation, purchase order, and follow up, receiving, and inspection. In addition, some other forms are also used by some large organization. Among such forms are acknowledgement for quotation received, and change of order notice, and purchase contract, and sample test report. Purchase record. Since purchasing is a repetitive process, accurate records are necessity for efficient operation. These records provide a history of what has been done in the past, that is supplier, price, discount, quality of delivery, etc., and provide a wealth of information upon which to base future decision. Maintaining a good record system will increase operating cost, but expectedly it should bring some handsome savings in the long run. And most purchasing department maintain the following basic purchase order log, open order file, close order file, vendor record, commodity record, and contract file. And next is purchase report. Since the purchasing department handles a sizable proportion of corporate finance, it is desirable to have some summary reports periodically available to the management. Some of the important reports are total value of purchase, allocation of purchase value against major items, allocation of purchase value against each requisition department, budget for purchase for the next year, and proposal for revisions of budget in current year. In addition, the purchasing department bring out the report for its own use. They are vendor performance report, pattern of consumption of material, and pattern of market price. And next is evaluation of departmental procedures and vendors. Evaluation of the purchasing department is essential for the economic health of the organization. At the same time, a good proportion of the effort in purchasing activities are not immediately visible, and so the evaluation become rather difficult. So in case a consistent effort towards this aspect must be kept on with the following objectives of evaluation. So one is performance improved of the department, and the next is aid to organization, next is easy coordination amongst department. And establishing evaluation criteria is also very difficult. Following criteria can be combined for an overall picture of purchasing performance. One is cost purchase comparison, that is annual cost of purchasing department divided by the total cost of purchases. And next is cost per order, that is total purchasing department cost divided by the number of order. Return on investment, that is net savings per rupee spent on purchasing. Quality criteria measured by number of rejects, and quantity criteria measured by downtime. And price criteria, that is comparison with the other organization or standard price indexes. And the evaluation standard can be based on past performance, budgeted performance, or performance of department in other organization to judge what is being done as compared to what should have been done. Okay, so this is about today's session, and the next sessions we will discuss on next video. In between any doubts, you can contact us anytime. And for more MBA series, you just do like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.
i-tutor Academy presents Ignoumba MBA complete syllabus coverage classes for individual students, semester-wise subject with online and flexible timing. For more details, contact on +916 238 217 885.